Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today it's a different topic, I guess, about why I'm kind of ditching zero waste, and this is not like a clickbaity title. It's kind of more about why zero waste is not kind of working for me as a term, and how I have kind of tried to evolve my activism so that it encompasses so many more things. So zero waste doesn't quite fit what I'm trying to do on social media anymore. Anyway, let's get into it. Thank you for tuning in, and I would love to hear about all of your comments and kind of what you think about this whole thing. A lot of YouTubers have made videos about why they're kind of ditching zero waste, or not ditching, but like saying I'm not zero waste anymore. Like Manuela from The Girl Gone Green did one that I watched. And I was kind of thinking, why would you, I don't know. It took me a bit of time, and then very recently I just got really fed up with the term zero waste, because so many of you guys comment and message me, and it's so kind of disheartening and upsetting to hear how frustrated a lot of you are, and how you constantly think that you're failing because you can't see a way where you can actually reach that goal of zero waste. And it made me start to think about it a lot more, and think about how helpful is that term really in getting people to change their lifestyles and to change the way that we consume. Because for me, I definitely felt, and I still feel, just incredibly guilty when I mess up. And it's the kind of guilt that it forces me to just feel really bad, and just like so dissatisfied with a lot of the choices that I've made and things like that. And I'm not ditching zero waste to stop kind of feeling guilty or anything like that, but it's not an all-encompassing term that really is showing how a lot of you guys as well are actually lowering your impact on the planet. And also, it's actually an industrial term. It's not, I've overused it and misinterpreted it, as have a lot of other people in the movement who they've said that themselves. It's an industrial term where you kind of seek to design something that creates zero waste in the end. I think that's it. Be Zero Waste Girl has talked a lot about it on her Instagram, and she'll probably have a much better definition than me, so definitely check her out. But I'll put her post here somewhere or something so you can pause and watch it, read it, sorry. But I thought that the best thing about the community that we've built together here is that everyone is doing their little bit and making small changes and small steps in so many different ways. Like, you're incorporating zero waste ideals into your life. A lot of you are reducing your kind of animal product consumption. A lot of you are eating more seasonally and consuming less, becoming more minimalist. And also, the environment and climate change has such a huge impact on so many people and frontline communities. And your activism, my activism, it felt like just calling it zero waste wasn't really encompassing all of those things, and it wasn't really as representative as I'd like it to be of everyone who is actually a part of this movement. So instead of calling myself zero waste and using kind of zero waste language on this channel, I decided that I wanted to engage in something called the low impact movement. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I did a post about this maybe a week ago, maybe a bit more, saying I'm ditching zero waste because zero waste is full of a lot of hypocrisies, and we kind of stumble over ourselves, and we're constantly failing. And instead of focusing on the wonderful positive steps that we're taking, we are focusing on those little failures. And really, in our individual lives, we can make a difference. But I've gone off on a tangent. What was the point? Yeah, so I decided that zero waste was not all-encompassing enough for everyone part of this community. And I felt like, while it's such a great thing that we are striving towards a really low waste lifestyle, I feel like it doesn't quite recognize that it's not just us who need to change. It's also the huge companies that have all the power, essentially. That is kind of why I'm moving away from using the terminology of zero waste. Not that I'm moving away from some of the ideals that are actually within that movement, but I wanted to start or engage in the low impact movement, which I've actually, I'm so kind of proud of the community we've already grown. I mean, I started the Instagram a week ago and we're already up to almost 2,000 followers, which is so exciting. And it's so nice to hear your feedback of, particularly on Instagram, about how you feel about the low impact movement, because this is all about community and it's all about us clubbing together and understanding what each other's barriers are, understanding that everyone needs to be equally represented within this movement, and how also to leverage that community to make sure that everyone is able to do what they can. Because I put up a post and I said, what are your barriers towards living a more sustainable lifestyle? Is it something to do with poor mental health? Do you have a physical disability? Or any of those things? I don't think that they get talked enough about in the green movement particularly. And people commented just incredibly inspiring and wonderful stories about what their barriers were, but it didn't dampen their desire to want to be a part of this movement and to do the very best that they can. And to be honest, this is the first time I'd really been able to engage in that kind of barrier, because I don't know anyone who's kind of talking about it, and maybe that's my own fault for not doing enough research. But I just thought that it was a really nice way of getting people to be able to, get their voices heard and give their story and feel like they are heard and that their voice is important. Because even though we might not be able to come up with the solutions just now, just being able to have a space where we can talk about this, I think, is really important, and it gives a much bigger sense of community, especially if you live in a place where no one else kind of understands what you're doing or why you're doing it or what low waste, low impact living is. It's so nice to know you have somewhere that you can go, that other people are going to be there to listen to you and to understand you and to help you. And even if they don't have a solution, they're still a listening ear, and I will always be a listening ear where you can come to that movement and you can really decide, I'm going to share this part of my life with you guys because I feel safe and I feel like this is a safe space where we can share, build together and help make the world a better place. So for me, the low impact movement is about community, it's about representation, it's about living as close to a low waste lifestyle as possible, it's about plant-based eating, it's about minimalism, it's about doing your best with what you have available to you. It's about the small steps. It's not about this unattainable goal that sits in the back of your mind making you feel guilty about waste that really is unavoidable for you. The last thing I wanted was for people to feel guilty about having to waste things because they simply don't have anything else available to them. And that doesn't discredit your efforts. Your efforts are as good as you put in. There's so many other things we can do to reduce our impact, like consuming less and spending less money on things that are obsolete or will become obsolete. So unfortunately, I just became quite frustrated with the terminology zero waste, and I think I reinterpreted it and misinterpreted it to everyone, and calling it like a trendy lifestyle really just goes against everything that it actually is, because it's not about lifestyle. And it also kind of makes it into something that people choose to do, whereas there are millions of people around the world who don't choose to live a zero waste lifestyle, but that is the way that they're living because they can't afford to consume. And I think that really didn't take those kind of people into consideration at all. So that is kind of where I'm at the moment with zero waste and the low impact movement, and it's really exciting because we're already able to share other people's stories on the low impact movement, because it's not about me, it's about us together as a community, and it's about sharing people's stories so that we can all learn from each other, and also so that the whole point of this is about the impact we're making rather than an individual person. And yeah, I'm just really proud of the community that we're already building here. It's so exciting, and it opens a door to kind of use it as a platform for so many different things. I mean, if your impact is you walk to work every day instead of, you know, getting the bus or driving or whatever, if you can, then that is so fundamental in reducing your personal impact. It's just, everything should matter and everything should count, and you shouldn't feel guilty. And so this is where the space is that I wanted to create, where that is a possibility. Everything that you're doing is important, and you shouldn't be shamed for messing up. You shouldn't be shamed for forgetting to make your lunch one day. Like, no, it should be a positive space where everyone should come judgment-free and contribute in any way that they possibly can. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say about that at the moment. It's so exciting. I mean, the hashtag, the low impact movement, has already been used over 300 times, and low impact movement already over 200 times. And it's just really exciting to see people take it and interpret it for themselves and take it off. Like, that's exactly what I wanted. And yeah, I'm building a website at the moment for it so that we can have people contribute if they want to say their own stories, talk about how they got into the green movement, do they feel equally or adequately represented within the movement, talk about their struggles, talk about positive things. I want it to be a communal space where we can all put in what we think and what we want to come out of this movement. So it's all about us, not just me. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, what you think about this, and I'd love it if you went and checked out the Instagram and gave it a like and let me know, you know, if you're happy with the way that is going. We've decided that every week we're going to be donating to a charity that is directly helping frontline communities who are being affected by climate change, help empowerment of, you know, women, and ensuring period positivity and securement in other countries where they're less able to have access to stuff like that. All these different things that funnel into the low impact movement, we're going to find a project or a charity that we're going to donate to every week. And I will be sharing with you on the Instagram, you know, what that charity is and why we've chosen that charity. And hopefully you guys will, you know, see the good and the positivity in that. And it mostly came out of the fact that I was doing this no spend challenge and I was saving all this money, and I thought, it's great that I'm saving money and, you know, I have things to save for, but wouldn't it be also great if I gave a proportion of that to a project that could extend its reach further than I can. I can do the best that I can on the internet and try and get you guys to consume less and to sort of change your habits slightly. But I also want to support projects that directly help communities, but also policy-driven charities who are lobbying to get the government to actually change their policies and ensure that companies pay and companies change and that they stop polluting the planet, because at the end of the day, it's also their responsibility and we need to put pressure on them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please leave any of your comments in the section below about what you think about this, and if you think this is, I don't know, anything you want to say. And if you do like the idea of the low impact movement, please give me some suggestions as to kind of what you want to see from it. And I want it to be a really positive experience for everyone. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.